If you grew up thinking this man was a predator, you got by a conservative, homophobic smear campaign and targeted takedown of one of the kindest, most radical, anti-conformist, and open-minded entertainers and artists of our time. That is the subject of this HBO documentary series, Pee-wee as Himself, which is something I saw at the Sundance Film Festival with like 4 other people. I was dedicated to seeing this, and I'm so glad that I did. I've been waiting for it to come out because Paul Reubens, the man who created the character of Pee-wee Herman, is not only one of the most talented and fascinating like performers of our time, but he's also someone who suffered greatly because he was subjected to this incredibly unjust smear campaign that was based on these ridiculous conservative puritanical ideals of the time. I've always been a Pee-wee Herman fan. I grew up on Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Playhouse and even Big Top Pee-wee, and I love this character. I love what this character represents, especially in children's entertainment. And I do think that Paul Reubens is in a lot of ways as impactful as someone like Mr. Rogers and Jim Henson. Like, this documentary not only gets into the incredibly difficult sacrifices that Paul Reubens made when he decided to walk this path as a closeted gay man deciding to get into this industry, but also his like fervent dedication to spreading the ideology of nonconformity and whimsy and acceptance to children. And Pee-wee's Playhouse was a show that was so important in showing kids all kinds of different lifestyles and people, and that it's just okay to be weird. But I was truly so moved by this documentary that gets into his early life, his career, his success, and his downfall. Because this documentary goes into all of the scandals that he was dragged into, and despite what you might have heard, none of them were about children. All of them were about being a gay man, being found in gay spaces, and being prosecuted and persecuted for that in the public eye. The fact that he was a children's entertainer was used to fuel these fires, and it's honestly devastating. And this documentary happened as Paul Reubens was dying, and he didn't let the director of the documentary know that he was sick as they were making this documentary. And so he's giving firsthand accounts for the first time in his life in this documentary, addressing head on like how painful it was for him to go through this publicly. And you can see how difficult it is for him to even talk about it and address it. And I don't want to get into how the documentary ends because I think that it's really powerful and I think that people should watch it. But this is on HBO right now, and not only do I think that the legacy of Paul Reubens deserves a documentary like this, but I think that the entire generation of people who grew up with him and this character deserve to see him on his own terms in this way. So I cannot recommend checking this out enough. It's a wonderful documentary series. It's on HBO right now. And long live Pee-wee Herman.